Hey guys, there's two kinds of people in the world. There's the kind of people who sit around every night after work and watch TV until they go to bed. And there's the kind of people who actually do stuff. And when you're that second kind of person, you will find that you get a lot more out of life doing things, no matter how trivial they may seem, because you're being productive with your day. You're doing something rather than just entertaining yourself with TV or video games or whatever it is you're doing. And I'm that kind of person, guys. From this channel, I've got videos on a million different subjects. I do gardening, hunting, fishing, backpacking. I dabble in bushcraft, prepping, self-reliance, homesteading stuff. I'm into canning and cooking and making things and fermenting things and brewing my own beer. Just so many things I have my hands into, because I don't spend my nights sitting in front of a TV or sitting there with a video controller in my hand. And one of the things I hear from people often is, well, I rent an apartment, I don't have a lot of room, I don't have any tools, I don't have any money. And I just want to talk real quick, because you can very easily be a person who does things without tools, without money, without all that stuff. And this is two perfect examples of that. And not only are you going to just get a lot of pride in fixing something up or repairing something or taking trash and making it something usable again, but you're also going to learn things, how to take care of tools, how to get rust off of things. There's just all these little things you learn in this process. And this is two things. And I think I paid nothing for the bottle opener. I think I paid $1 for the utility knife. They were complete and total rust buckets, just covered in rust. And that's why I got them for pretty much nothing. So literally, I think a can of WD-40 and some steel wool, and this thing cleaned up nice, and it has a beautiful patina on it now. And this is, these are pretty common. You see these all over New York here. This is a Buffalo, New York brewing company. So you tend to see these a lot at flea markets and garage sales. They must have given them out for free or something, here in New York, because I see a lot of these. But you know what? This cost me nothing. It took maybe 20-30 minutes to clean up. And it's kind of a fun little thing. It's a neat little made in the USA metal, heavy metal bottle opener with a beautiful, nice patina that looks nice. And I really liked that I took the time to clean it up and use it. Yeah, anyone can go to the dollar store. Anyone can go to the dollar store and buy a bottle opener. Not everyone can take a piece of rusted up garbage and bring it back to life like that. Once again, it's that two kind of people thing. Which one are you? Are you sitting around all night watching YouTube videos? Are you watching TV? Are you playing video games? Or are you actually doing things? And, I'm not knocking the YouTube videos. After all, this is what you're here doing. But YouTube's a great way to learn, but it's no substitute for getting out and doing. Likewise, this Stanley, maybe paid $1 for. Once again, cleaned it up with steel wool, a little sandpaper, a lot of elbow grease, and this thing is very operational. I bought a new package of blades for it. Stores blades on the inside. This is, look at the designing on this. Granted, they still make this to this day. Stanley still makes this, but it's not made in the USA. You're not going to see that. You are not going to see that. And that's what I think is really important, is I could have went to Walmart and bought a new one of these. And they're like $5. But you know what? It doesn't say that. And that's real important. I think, being that person who can take something like this, instead of going to Walmart and buying a cheap Chinese import and supporting the People's Republic of China, is taking your dollar, making your, getting your own out of nothing, and then using that other $4 to buy something of substance, of worth, something that was made here in America. I think that's a really important part of being reliant, is saving money on silly things like this, so that way when you need to buy good quality American-made gear, you have the money. And that's, people always say, like, oh geez, why bother? It's a bottle opener, it's a utility blade, or You can get them at the dollar store. Very true. But, you know, the couple dollars you save here and there, by doing things, you can turn that around, and over the course of a year, maybe that's enough to buy a really nice tool, or something that you need for your house, something that's quality, as opposed to constantly being cheap and constantly buying garbage. So I have that mentality. If I can save a couple of dollars by doing something like this, not only am I doing something, am I learning, am I doing something productive with my day, which just makes me feel better, but also it's giving me that couple extra dollars to spend when I need quality. And guys, just because you don't have an apartment, just because you don't have money, doesn't mean you stop doing. Doesn't mean you sit in front of the TV and give up. It doesn't mean you pull out the Xbox and play all night long. No. Even the smallest apartment, you can do stuff like this. These are just two little tiny examples of something you can do. It doesn't have to be tools. It doesn't have to be bottle openers. It could be anything. It could be literally anything, from making paracord bracelets to, you know, anything, guys. You know, whenever you're doing, you're learning, you're practicing, you're moving, you're doing things that make you feel better about your day. And it's real important. And it's a real important thing. If you get anything from this channel, I would like to think you have learned to do things, to experiment, to try. You know, not just to sit back and be happy going to the dollar store. You know, to go out and experiment and give these things a try, and you know, feel good about your day, knowing that instead of supporting the People's Republic of China, that you went and, you know, did it yourself, and now you can go and buy yourself a nice American-made knife or a nice box of ammo to practice with. Who knows, you know, guys? But there it is, just simple, no excuses video. Get out, do stuff every day. Walk away from that TV. Get your kids involved. Have your kids help you with this stuff. There is no reason why you couldn't have your kids help you with a project like this. There's nothing sharp. There's nothing that's going to hurt anyone. It's steel wool. WD-40. Your kids could help you. Spend some time with your kids. Spend some time with your family. Bonding. Teaching them about things. About tools. How to restore things. About the value of things that were made well and made in America. So that's it, guys. That's the end of this little rant. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it gave you a little inspiration to kind of get off the couch and get to work.